Welcome to this podcast series of HCLTech, Aerospace and Defense. Myself, Anshul Sharma, Industry Principal for A&D, and today I have with me Mr. Ameekar Charan. He is the Associate Vice President in our HCLTech SAP Ecosystem team. And today Ameekar is going to talk about generative AI and specifically some of the AI as well as GenAI capabilities within SAP and potential use cases for aerospace and defense companies. So welcome, Ameekar, to this podcast, and great to have you here.
Thank you very much, Anshul, for inviting me. Pleasure to be here.
Great. So, Ameekar, we have been hearing a lot about potential of generative AI in various industries, and A&D is obviously no exception to it, and it's slowly catching up to it. And we know that more than 90% of A&D OEMs and tier one suppliers are using SAP as their ERP platform. And we, as HCL Tech, being a global strategic services partner, are offering SAP-enabled, transformation services for our customers. So today I want to discuss and explore with you about using generative AI with SAP. Also, I understand that all the applications and services that SAP is offering related to AI are bundled under a single umbrella, which is SAP Business AI. So maybe could you start with telling us about what is SAP Business AI all about and its high-level architecture?
Perfect. Yes, I can do that. Before I talk about Business AI, maybe a little word on why SAP Business AI, right? And how SAP is investing into AI. So just as a note, SAP has invested more than $1 billion in next generation of AI-powered enterprise technology startups from Sapphire Venture LLC, right? More than $6 billion in R&D investments and 3 direct investments in GenAI leaders like Aleph Alpha, Anthropic, and Cohere. Now you couple this with that SAP controls the most crucial part of any AI project, which is data. Therefore, it makes a lot of sense for customers to leverage SAP for implementation of enterprise AI cases, right? And SAP's AI strategy is to use AI capabilities to empower business applications and business processes. And there are mainly 2 pillars of this strategy. One is the embedded AI scenarios in SAP applications. The second one being exposing business-centric AI services via BTP for any customer-centric scenarios, right? And just to expand on this, in terms of business AI, we are talking about 3 major components. One is SAP Joule, which is Copilot for businesses. So you can use Joule as a single pane of entry, asking questions into entire suite of SAP products, right? So you can query on one side on success factors, where are my candidate list, can we do the appraisals? It can give you a summary of, for example, what to discuss when there is an appraisal discussions. To the other side, where you are talking about anything within SAP S/4HANA Private Cloud edition, right? So this is Joule, which is like a co-pilot for the enterprises. Then the second part is the embedded AI applications. And when I say embedded AI applications, these are out of the box classical AI or generative AI features within the suite of SAP products. So we are talking about cloud ERP, supply chain management, human capital management, spend management, customer relationship management, right? The last one being business technology platform, which is mostly a platform as a service offering. However, there are also embedded AI cases there. For example, you could use out of the box cache application. You could use business document extraction services. They all sit on BTP, right? And this is where the embedded AI comes in. Last part being AI Foundation. And AI Foundation is the ecosystem of all major AI models that are available, right? Be it from IBM, Aleph Alpha, Anthropic, Meta, AWS, Microsoft, Cohere, Databricks, NVIDIA, Google Cloud, you name it, and we will have it. What does this basically mean is that as an SAP customer, the customer has a choice without getting into a vendor lock into accessing any of these data models. And important part being that we could decouple access to the LLM from the business application which sits on top, right? So today I am using um, Gemini from Google. Tomorrow I would want to go to say to Azure OpenAI, right? So without my application breaking down, I will have to just decouple my connect to the LLM underneath, and my SAP application would run. Uh, on top of all of this, so there is Joule, there is embedded AI, there is customized AI. On the bottommost layer, we have AI Foundation. But on top of this, there are ethical reasons from SAP. So they would want to be reliable, of course. They have to be responsible and relevant. So with this, this is the overall strategy and the architecture of SAP.
Well, thanks for that quick overview of SAP Business AI, Ameekar. Now, I think in this first question, you mentioned about some of the specific business processes as well. You were highlighting about HR related processes, supply chain. Now, coming to the specific application areas and business processes for aerospace and defense sector, we are seeing that AI and Gen AI together have the potential to drive innovation across the complete A&D value chain. So, for example, we are seeing applications in areas like engineering where we are focusing on use cases like automation on some particular stages of engineering life cycle, or speeding up the testing and validation process. In manufacturing, we are seeing areas like visual inspection or visual inspection systems to detect the product defects. Also, from a manufacturing perspective, there are applications around production planning to optimize the production schedules. So, I mean, and even from an overall supply chain perspective, to increase the supply chain visibility, like quickly accessing information about components or parts, vendors, inventory, etc. So basically, complete covering the entire spectrum of the A&D value chain. But looking at this from an SAP perspective, where do you see AI and Gen AI being leveraged most by these A&D companies or companies in discrete manufacturing sector like aerospace and defense?
So some of them that you mentioned as well could fall under the SAP umbrella, but then there are a lot of scenarios. Some out of the box. When I say out of the box, they are delivered by standard from SAP. And if not, then we can definitely we can definitely develop these using BTP. So these would fall under customizable AI, right? Some examples being now that grounding services are made available in SAP Joule, these are easy RAG cases that we can now almost out of the box deliver, right? So we can have quick answers based on product documentation from SAP Asset Performance Management, right? So anything to do with your product without practically doing anything, right? So this could be quick scenarios that can be developed. Similarly, for say IBP, right? We can simplify the order to cash process by automatically matching incoming bank statement items to open receivables or account leveraging SAP cash application. Automation of processes like financial closing and billing preparation to avoid manual errors and speed up processes to drive standardization and scalability. We can also automate collection and validation of critical master data to improve quality and accuracy. Example, supplier lead times, raw material prices, or estimated production scrap rates. Getting these parameters right has a massive business impact. Again, with Joule's integration with new regulatory change manager tool on BTP enables compliance and IT professionals to evaluate regulatory updates with context of their business and SAP solutions. Typically, over 1,000 annual regulatory changes across SAP. There are 1,000 annual regulatory changes across SAP products and business processes. Therefore, this is an important feature that we can immediately activate. Then we also have AI-supported quality assurance, where we can improve production efficiency, product quality, non-conformance control with, say, image, photo-based inspection, and you highlighted some of this. Machine learning-powered quality and yield prediction, failure classification, automated root cause analysis, and recommendation. So, and there are more. This is not the entire list, but I hope the listeners would have got a fair idea of on the possibilities that we have across the value chain.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Ameekar, for highlighting those use cases. So, would it be right to say that the real power of generative AI would be, not, I mean, I'm seeing that the conversations are shifting from not just solely Gen AI, but Gen AI being used in combination with the decision-making power of AI ML capabilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I am seeing that Gen AI productive use cases are most easily, as of now, being consumed as knowledge agent parts.
Yeah.
But classical AI in prediction, in classification, segmentation, all of those. So you couple both of them, and I think we have a power to change and transform businesses.
Okay. Okay. And Ameekar, we as being a global shared services partner with SAP, so how is HCLTech helping deploy these SAP-based AI and Gen AI solutions for our existing and potential A&D customers? So maybe could you highlight some of the aspects of our capabilities?
Maybe I begin with the partnership part, and then I speak about what is that we are doing, what are our IPs, etc.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
our partnership with SAP is probably the best that it has ever been. And it is a result of many factors. HCLTech as a successful global service provider for more than 2 decades. HCLTech as an early adopter of SAP technologies, so we being a trusted customer. And last, we becoming a valued vendor to SAP, right? So, which means that there are HCLTech engineers working behind the scenes for SAP every day, making these products see the day of light, right? So
Yeah.
we are having this 360-degree kind of a relationship with SAP, and I think we are at probably our prime as of now. And we are determined to be a valued partner to SAP. So when it comes to business AI, as well as our investments, we are investing into an SAP lab at Munich. This will help SAP customers realize value from their AI projects. We are enabling large-scale AI-enabled workforce, and this is an initiative coming right from the top. That is from our CTO. In the recent AHM, we understood that 70% of the workforce is expected to understand AI and go through actually a formal course. So you can imagine that we'll have a large workforce which would be AI trained, and that's how we can help our customers by scaling, right? Third being that we are proactively investing into infusing AI into industry processes, and with support from our Mega LT leadership, I think vertical like A&D under that umbrella will only stand to gain, right? So these, I think, as three important factors why we think business AI and SAP business AI is bound to grow. We are obviously constantly developing IPs, and some of the examples being, for example, in A&D specifically, IMRO service bulletin workbench that was developed by our SAP practice. It's a beautiful solution that not just efficiently retrieves information from OEM service bulletins using natural language queries, but also completes necessary actions back in S4, right? As of today, we are working with a North American customer where we are reading incoming packaging slips from a physical copy. And we are talking about 100 plus variations to the actual physical slip. In case, and even handwritten one, by the way, there could be even handwritten packaging slip that could come in. In case there are missing values, we are looking at the historical data and suggesting the possible values. And then at the end, if the original PO did not have an inbound delivery, then we create a good receipt and an inbound delivery in the backend S/4HANA, right?
Okay.
However, we are not just leveraging AI for core processing. We are also working on areas like sustainability, for example, right? In fact, we did win the SAP Pinnacle Award 2024 for Aquasphere solution. This solution basically helps enterprises achieve their water sustainability goals, and it's a complete offering. So from the sensors up to the insights, we have the entire vertical stack covered, right? So at one point as HCLTech, we are investing into making sure we are scalable. On the other side, we are proactively investing in IPs that our customers can adopt and make it easier for them to consume standard offerings and the custom offerings. So hope this gives you a good view of the diverse IPs, use cases, what we are doing today, and why should our listeners be interested in looking at SAP as a possible SAP and HCLTech as a good combination.
Certainly, Ameekar, those are some of the very useful applications and use cases which you have highlighted. But given the regulated nature of this aerospace and defense sector, the C-suite executives have these apprehensions about using GenAI for industry-specific applications. So, given those concerns, how are we addressing those concerns of the C-suite, given the data exposure to LLMs within SAP? So do customers have the option to use their preferred LLMs? What deployment options can we provide to them? So if you can maybe highlight about those aspects.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. This is a concern, but good part being, I think these concerns are already addressed. So there are two options. Technically, we can even do a hybrid model or completely on-premise option. However, this is not as per SAP prescribed architecture, but it is technically possible for us to have an LLM which is in the network and that connects to the SAP BTP, and then rest of the application sits on BTP. We'll have to look at architectural issues, for example, latency, etc. But speaking from SAP perspective alone, the provisions that SAP has. So first, SAP BTP is available on NS2. So that's a good news for customers to make sure that it is completely secured environment. Second, by contract, none of the LLMs can access any data that is available or made available to them via the BTP application. So even though I could use OpenAI, I could use Google's Gemini, I could use anything, but the data would continue to sit in the secured SAP environment only. It does not go to open internet, right?
Yeah.
Till the customer would want to have it.
Yeah.
Third, on the flexibility. So SAP today is the only scalable vendor which can provide LLMs across all hyperscalers and open LLMs, open sourced LLMs that are available, right? For example, if you would go to say Azure, they wouldn't provide Gemini, right? And vice versa. But with SAP, customers can access all the LLMs. There is a same way that the charge happens, so you don't have to worry about different costing mechanisms. You can actually build completely multi-model applications without worrying about your application breaking down. So yes, in addition to this, now SAP has also some features that are activated, for example, data masking. So in case you would want your application to remove all personally identified information to be removed before it is sent to LLM, that is possible just by a tick of a box, right? You can say that PII information shouldn't be shared. It will not be shared. In case you would want to override with some other mock data, even that is possible, right? So I think this is where making sure that I in the beginning I spoke about SAP being reliable and responsible. I think some of these features should help customers actually feel a lot more comfortable when we speak about these features, right? So yeah, I hope I answered the questions, Anshul.
Great. Well, thanks, Ameekar, for those wonderful insights. It was great speaking with you. This was a good session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.